So why does nobody like the Snakebites?
Seriously?
Hey guys, 6 Plus Stevo here with another video for you. And in this one, I want to be talking about Snakebites. And my gorgeous friend here also, obviously, has a keen liking for anything snake-like, don't you, buddy? This is Samson. He is my Carolina corn snake. And you're beautiful, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes. Yeah, but tell you what, hold on a second. Let's put you away, so I can get on with this video. Okay, and we're back. Right, guys, Samson has been safely put away in his tank to chill out for a bit. So, yes, what are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about snake bites and why it seems that a lot of people don't seem to have much love for the Snakebite clan. And I don't really know why that is. Just recently, let's bring it up here on the screen. Just recently on the Facebook group, the 40k Orc community, if you're not a member of this group, get your asses onto Facebook now and join the group, because it's the best place to be for Orc lovers. Just recently, we can see here, I asked the poll within the group, okay, let's find out which clan is the most popular. What is your favourite clan? Share why in the comments below. This is going to turn nasty. Well, it didn't turn nasty, but there was no real surprises in there other than Snakebites being bottom of the list. So let's have a look at the results. So a lot of people voted. It was well over 100 people voted. So this is in no means is this, no, you can take this as a snapshot of, you know, the whole of the orc community across the world and what clans they play, and who their favorite clans is. So first place, not really much surprises, was the Bad Moons. And of course, I voted Bad Moons because they are the best clan, you know. So we got some things right in this poll. But yeah, we had 32 people vote for Bad Moons. They just got top place, just over Death Skulls, who came in a very close second. They had 31 people vote for Death Skulls as their favourite clan, the thieving gits. Then third place was Evil Sons. They had 29 votes, so, you know, very close third place there. Very close between them top three, actually. Evil Sons, Death Skulls and Bad Moons. Then in fourth place, we get the Goths. You know, Gazgol's big clan. We had 25 votes for the Goths. Then we go down into fifth place was the Blood Axes, and they got 17 votes. We can see Skarner there voted for them. But down there in fifth place. Down in sixth place, the Freebooters. They only got 12 votes, and there is old the Dread Captain himself there, voted for them, of course. So yeah, they were quite low down. And then way down at the bottom, with a paltry 5 votes for the Snakebites. Just 5 votes for Snakebites. I was shocked by that, absolutely shocked by that. So I wanted to have a little talk about why that is, and what are the reasons for these results. Well, I think what we can see from these results, first off, is most of these votes have been done from players who are currently playing 8th edition. And it's no secret that Bad Moons, Death Skulls, Evil Sons are the 3 strongest clans in competitive gaming terms within 40k right now. We've got some of the best clan traits. We've got some of the best stratagems. Like Bad Moons, for example, have got some really good shooting. They've got amazing stratagems like the showing off stratagem. They've got some great pieces of like war gear, like the blunderbuss and things like that. They're really strong clan. They really are. Death Skulls are the same. They've got some amazing clan rules, being able to re-roll lots of dice. They're getting those lucky invuln saves, and they themselves have got some good stratagems and stuff. And Evil Sons, they are fast, really, really fast. And if you want a predominantly close combat army like the Orcs to get into combat quickly, there's no clan better than the Evil Sons for that. And then the Goths are pretty good. They've always been a popular clan. They've always kind of been like this is going to ruffle some feathers, but they've been like the Ultramarines of the Orcs, let's say. If or we could say Ultramarines are the Goths to Space Marines. They're the poster boys for Orcs. And then the Blood Axes a little bit further down, and then Freebooters, and then at the bottom the Snakebites. So I would say Goths and Blood Axes too have some good clan traits and stuff. Goths are absolutely brutal in combat, and Blood Axes have got some real good sneaky tactics and stuff. They're probably not as strong as the top 3 clans in terms of pure out and out sort of tournament level competitiveness, but they've got some good stuff there. The Freebooters, they've got some good stuff, pretty good, but I do have to admit the Snakebites are, in competitive terms, I would say probably the weakest clan in the book. They really are. There's no secret about that. So yeah, this poll was interesting for many reasons. Just one, to see what clans people like and stuff, and also I think what this told us is a lot of why people like specific clans. I myself chose Bad Moons years ago when the clans didn't really mean a whole lot in terms of the actual game terms. There was no clan specific rules and stuff. You had some sort of clan specific characters and things, but it was really just the way you like to paint your Orcs and the play style. So if you knew a bit of the fluff and that, you would theme your army around that clan with the sort of things, but there was no restrictions on it. There was nothing to say like they can't have this, or they're better at this or whatever. Certainly, what I'm talking about is sort of 3rd, 4th, 5th edition. And so what clan you chose was purely done for just fluff reasons, really, and aesthetics. Now, when people choose a clan, it tends to be a lot more because of competitive reasons, which is the strongest clan on the table. Now, it's easy for me to say this, but I chose Bad Moons before they were good. Shooty Orcs have never been that good. At least not for a very long time have they been that good. Up until recently, with the Codex Orcs coming out and all the special rules for things like Bad Moons and Freebooters and stuff, and the Tank Busters special rules and looters, and using the stratagems like showing off and more DAC with them, they suddenly become quite a devastating shooty army, at least in some respects. And Snakebites, by comparison, have got some weak stuff in there. But it makes me quite sad, because I thought there was probably and the people that voted in this poll, the reasons are theirs. They may have, like myself, liked these clans for many years, and like these clans, and it might not be because of competitive reasons. And if you do like a specific clan because of competitive reasons, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I would have thought more people would have had some love for the Snakebites just purely for a fluff reason, because they are a very, very cool clan indeed. In fact, this is my 2nd Orc army. My 1st Orc army was also Bad Moons, but when I decided to start collecting Orcs again, just before 8th edition came out, and I was getting back into the hobby, I was deciding what sort of clan to theme my orcs on, and I was so close to picking Snakebites because they are definitely my second favourite clan. I've always loved Bad Moons. I've always loved everything about them. But yeah, if Bad Moons didn't exist, it probably would be Snakebites for me. And the reason for that is Snakebites, they've got some really cool fluff and lore and stuff. They are a very, almost by other orc clans, they're considered backwards and primitive. It's funny to hear an orc thinking of another orc as primitive, but they are believers in the old ways. They kind of shun technology for the most part anyway. They will get shooters and things, they will get tanks and stuff and that, but they tend to thrive more in sort of tribes living in encampments and stuff, and they're not feral orcs. They a lot of them are, and they can be, but people mistake sometimes snakebites and feral orcs. They are two, not necessarily. I'll say they're two different things, but they're two things that aren't necessarily the same. Feral orcs are, let's say, orcs have been wiped off a planet, and then years later the spores start to grow, and a tribe of orcs sort of emerges again from the spores that were left over from the last orc invasion. To start with, they're going to be very feral, very primitive. They're going to be sort of using spears and flints and things like that, bow and arrows and things, riding on boars and stuff and things like that. So that's feral orcs. The Snakebite clan are fully developed like any other orcs from any other clan, but they do sort of believe in the old ways more, and they do some really cool things. They breed the best squigs. They're famous. The Snakebites are famous for breeding the most savage, largest, most brutal squigs going. And lots of other clans will trade with them and things to get their hands on these squigs. And they're also famed for creating, the bigger squiggly beasts, things like the Squigoff and the Gargantuan Squigoffs and things like that. And they breed all, different squigs for all different types of jobs. They specialize in it. And so they also, another cool thing they do in the lore and the fluff, they're also famous for breeding or at least training and things, the best grots, snakebite grots. And this is represented to a certain extent within the rules in the codex, which I thought was pretty cool. They have the best grots, and their grots are a bit more savage and a bit more, stronger and a bit more disciplined than grots from other orc clans. And again, other orc clans will pay a few teeth to get their hands on these super grots. And so they've got some cool things going for them. Also, I think in Snakebites, things like weird boys and stuff are a bit more predominant. I can't say that word. You know what I'm trying to say. They're a bit more common, and they're a bit more sort of looked up to, I think, within a Snakebite clan. So yeah, you've got this kind of old school tribe of orcs. And they will, like I say, they will loot and get their hands on shooters and things, and they will trade with other clans to get their hands on shooters, and they will have battle wagons, and they will have looted vehicles, etc., etc. They will have all that stuff, even though they kind of worship the old ways and stuff. But what they do, they're famed as well. Snakebites are famed for sort of hunting big creatures and things, and they love the sort of thrill of the hunt. And this is represented in one of their stratagems. I think it's Big Game Hunter, where you get a +1 to wound. So that's quite cool in competitive terms. That's quite a powerful stratagem when you look at that and what different things you can use that with. But yeah, so they're famed for sort of taking down large beasts and either capturing them for food or for sport, or to capture them and then use them as mounts to ride into battle. And all these things make an army and a theme for your army that is just amazing for converting. And this is why I was so surprised that they were so low down, because the one main reason for me why I was so close to picking Snakebites is just from a kit bashers and a converters perspective. They're probably the best clan to go for. They really are. Because You've got this whole other range of orcs in Games Workshop's other game, Fantasy or Age of Sigmar. And there's a whole massive orc range there, some amazing looking miniatures and stuff. And that is just perfect to mix all those bits in with 40k orcs and create your own things. You know, there's someone I know in the local area who works in a shop, and he's got his things on display in the shop near where I live. And in the cabinet, he's got his Snakebite orcs, and they're made from feral orcs. And he's sort of swapped the hands to have sluggers and things and put extra little bits on them and stuff. But they're very feral, savage orcs from Age of Sigmar, and they look incredible. They really do, and they're such simple conversions. So just from the boys, he's got a really good snakebite theme there, and you can just do so much. Your imagination can run wild. The tanks and things they have, they will generally adorn them with tusks and horns and things like that, and you know, embellish them with, like, you know, furs and all kinds of things, trophies from their kills and things, to make these vehicles look like these huge beasts that they go out and hunt. Because you know, they, like I say, they love the hunt, and they're all about that. It's like a real status symbol to a snake bite. If you can take down a great big beast, you know, you're going to be looked at with, you know, jealousy and envy and pride, and all the other orcs are going to look up to you as, you know, the biggest and the baddest because you hunted the biggest creature out there. So they really take that to heart when they're sort of adorning their tanks and vehicles and stuff. So you can have fun with that. Also, using the counts as rule, if you want to represent things like tanks and stuff, you could instead buy some kind of big beast. You could buy like dinosaurs. You have a toy dinosaur, fit a Haldor on it, cannons on it, put orcs on the side, and say, right, this counts as a land raider. You know, anything like that. You could go for any of the big hulking monsters and beasts and things from Age of Sigmar and use them in the same way. You know, strap the guns on them and stuff, put a rider or a driver on there, and call it, you know, a looted wagon or a truck or whatever. You can have fun with your squigs and your, you know, your squig offs and things like that. It's frustrating for me because, like I say, I don't do snake bites. Perhaps one day in the future I may do like another detachment of snake bites to work with my bad moons, just to, all these ideas in my head, get them out and make something with them. But you can do all sorts. I've seen, like in Age of Sigmar, this giant great squig that's sort of gobbing a grot out of its mouth and spitting it, and I thought, cool, you could use that as a lobber or something, or as one of the mech guns in 40k, you know, and have a snakebite twist to it. Boar boys, who remembers boar boys? Any gamers out there of a certain age remember boar boys? They're really missed from 40k now, but you can still have them because you can just use the bike rules, or bikers, you know, get all boar boys from Age of Sigmar or whatever, strap some guns onto them and, you know, modernize them a little bit, 40k them up a bit, and there you go. You've got orc bikers represented on the table by orc boar boys. There's just so much you can do. If you want to represent the super grots, you can have a look at some of the goblin range from Age of Sigmar or Fantasy. They've got some amazing goblins, things like the Moon Clan grots and the, you know, the spider riders and all kinds of things like that. And so, from, like I say, from a creative standpoint, I say they're one of the top clans. They really are. There's just, you can let your imagination really run wild when it comes to snake bites. Competitive terms, perhaps they are a bit weak, but even in competitive terms, I say they've got some good things going for them. What do they get as their trait as standard? The clan trait is basically that across the board they get a feel no pain, which is somewhat nullified by the fact that you can just get a pain boy who pretty much fulfills the same role, and perhaps fulfills that same role a bit better. So I mean, it's good, but it's when you compare it to the Death Skulls, who get the invuln save. Now, in my opinion, a feel no pain is a bit better than an invuln save. In some cases it's worse, some cases it's better, but I think overall it's probably better. But the Death Skulls, on top of getting their invuln save, they also get those re-rolls as well. So their clan trait just appears so much better than the Snakebites one. And so I think this is the reason why they're not getting much love lately. And it's a real shame. It is a real shame. I would have expected Snakebites to be a bit higher up on the list, just because of, you know, the community. We're a bunch of kit bashers at heart. The vast majority of us are anyway. I don't know many Orc players who just buy the kits and build them as they come. I think everyone starts out like that, but very soon, you know, the temptation to tweak things and make things a bit better, like any true mech should, is just unavoidable. You know, you can't resist it. And so I'm very surprised actually that Snakebites didn't get higher on the list. And perhaps that will change in a future edition of the Codex, or maybe some updates will come out and give them some new stuff. You know, who knows what the future holds for the Orcs. But it's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised in a way, because I don't know. I didn't see the majority of Orc players as ultra competitive players. And like I say, that doesn't necessarily mean that anyone who voted in this and voted for the clan they're playing now and the one they've chosen from the codex, you know, that's the only reason they chose it. They could have chosen it because they genuinely like the lore and the fluff and stuff. Like I say, I've liked Bad Moons for a long time, way before they were good. And, you know, in a future codex, if Bad Moons suddenly become crap, if they're down there with the Snakebites as like the weakest clan in the book, it isn't going to bother me, because I just love their lore and their fluff and, you know, everything about them, their whole theme and stuff. And I will continue to play them and, you know, model them and create them in that way and paint them in that way. But yeah, there you go, guys. But what do you guys think about this? You know, did you take part in the poll on the group? And you know, share down in the comments who you voted for and why. And if you didn't take part in the vote poll because you're not on the group yet, get yourself on the groups. We do polls and things like this all the time, and things that you can get involved in and stuff. It's quite interesting, and it's interesting for me to be able to use this stuff as a topic for a video like this, like you're watching now. But yeah, get yourselves over there, guys. There's a link in the description below for the 40k Orc community. Get yourselves over there. It is the best Orc group on Facebook, bar none. And yeah, just share your thoughts down there below. And if there are any Snakebite players out there, please share in the comments below what you love about Snakebites, why they're such a cool clan. And if you've got any pictures of your conversions and things like that, or your paint jobs or your armies, please get on over to the Facebook group and share them, because I want to see your Snakebite creations. I want to see your Squigoths and your Super Grots and your dinosaur looted rhinos or whatever, just whatever it is, just share it. You know, it's a community for sharing all this stuff and inspiring each other and getting those creative juices flowing. It's good stuff. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching this one. I will see you on the next one. This is 6 Plus Stevo signing out.